Hello, ThousandPoundPig here, and a new god is about to come out for Smite. Her name is called Awilix, or that's the way she says it anyway. But she's the goddess of the moon, the queen of the night. She's also associated with the underworld and a bunch of other things. I looked up a bit of lore about this god, and it isn't really clear what she is. Is she a female or a male? In this game, Smite, it seems that she's female. But she's also associated with the animal, the eagle, a lot, for some reason. And also the jaguar. And if you look down at Xbalanque, what he is called is the hidden jaguar son. So I guess the jaguar role has already been taken. So she can't exactly have a jaguar, but then again her card does have it. So her card, the Blood Moon, is much more lore friendly than her normal skin, just called standard Awilix, with the panther in the background. But just on the note of the panther, just look at the panther. Look how shiny it is. Damn, it like it bathes in oil or something. Oh, anyway, we'll jump in game and we'll check out all the moves.
Time to shine, Supu. No, we don't have time for a nap.
Yes, so this is Awilix. You can see. Oh, okay. You can see with her, she doesn't really have her mount on her at the moment. But let's talk about her design at the moment. You know, there's not many things hanging off her. She's not wearing a big fancy dress or anything. Like a lot of the Mayan gods, she looks very native, I guess I could say that. And of course she does have her staff as her melee weapon. And just look at her attack animation, you can see she holds the end of the staff almost. Because she can actually attack people from further away than other gods can. So she will have a longer attack effect. Meaning she can damage enemies from further away, but she has a reduced cone of her attack to balance it out. But I better buy some items here. I'll just buy some basic items, whatever's in the recommended list. So Awilix is an assassin. When they first showed footage of it, I thought she was going to be a hunter, which was pretty surprising. We haven't had one of those in a while. Things always get interesting when a new hunter is released. Try and dethrone the current popular hunters such as Rama and Apollo. But an assassin can be a game changer because, of course, the assassin doesn't have a dedicated lane. They roam a lot of the time. They go through all the jungles. They can pop up in any lane. And Awilix is a pretty unique one. Yes, there's not much known about Awilix's lore. Why the hell am I lagging when I am not even playing online? I'm playing against bots. This is single player. You might notice a noticeable stutter in what you see. I don't know why, I can't explain that. Yeah, there's not much lore on Awilix at the moment. Which, that's the thing about designing Smite gods. Sometimes they do really popular gods such as Poseidon or Hercules. People know what they look like, people know what kind of abilities they do, the kind of theme they have, such as Hercules is really strong. Poseidon has to be doing stuff with water, he has to have his kraken. While less popular gods such as Awilix, nobody really knows, so they make her to fit a role. And this makes a lot of sense because this is the last god they will release before the January Smite World Championship. So they want Awilix to fit a role, to fit into the current meta and actually change the game up a bit. But not too much. That's why I see Awilix is going to be a bit of a counter pick to a lot of gods because of her ultimate. But let's talk about her passive. If Awilix strikes first from out of combat, she increases her physical power for a short duration. Now this is pretty good because I like the out of combat passives. Because I'm a bit of a coward, I like running away and then, you know, surprising people. But that suits the style of an assassin. They thrive at ganking people, taking people unaware, coming out of the jungle, hitting someone. And in this case, it will increase her physical power for a short duration. She won't suit those long, drawn out fights where she is constantly in combat. Just look at her passive icon above her icon. Whenever that's lit up, then that means she's out of combat. Her first ability is called Summon Suku, and that's the name of her panther, S-U-K-U, where Awilix mounts her panther, Suku, gaining movement speed but decreasing strafe speed. Awilix may leap off of Suku to deal damage to all enemies in the target area. Cancelling this ability before leaping will not trigger its cooldown. So look at this, she has a mount. She has a mount which she jumps on and she can run around with it. This is not like Guan Yu's ultimate where he summons his mount and he has a limited time to use it before he automatically jumps off. She can use it permanently if she wants to. You know, she can take damage, she can use health pots, but she can't do basic attack. She uses it for movement speed and of course the jump, which does some damage. So it's a great way to gank someone, catch up to someone, just be a lot more maneuverable, run around the jungle a lot faster than other junglers, and it has a pretty short cooldown. I think I'd say 15 seconds. I think that's pretty fast, but once you first press it, then you have to press it again, use your jump, and then the countdown starts again. You know, it won't reset while you are on the mount. But remember that your strafe is slowed down as you walk side to side. I kind of like this because when you're in the jungle, it looks like you're stalking the prey and everything. It does change the way you move on it a bit. You know, it doesn't feel as natural, but I think that's a good thing. That suits what it is. You know, it feels like a mount. And the second ability, that is called Feather Step, where Awilix flips over the last enemy she hit within 1.5 seconds, dealing damage as she passes over them. The damage dealt is modified based on the next attack in Awilix's basic attack progression. If the next attack was going to be her third attack, then she also hits all targets in the area around her. So think of this as Loki's ultimate, where he automatically disappears and pops up behind someone. And that can be used as an escape, but the problem with this ability is that you need to use it on someone. You see that down the bottom it has a red cross over it. That means I can't use it. You have to either use it on a god or a mob. You can use it on the Gold Fury, maybe even the Fire Giant, but you have to attack them first. And that's in the tooltip, you know, attack them first and then use it. But it looks to be a great ability. You actually, you know, if you're trying to catch up to someone, they will turn their back and you can just use it on them like that, and you can appear right in front of them, slow them down even more. So slowing them down with your 2 and your 1 seems to be a theme of this god, which is going to be really hard to escape this. Just back at the base, look at this. Her mount does spawn with her. You can spin around and it seems to be staying in one spot. Ha! Yeah. Okay. That seems a bit weird. Anyway, her third ability is called Suku's Charge. Suku comes to Awilix's aid, rushing forward and damaging all enemies. If hit from behind, enemies are also knocked up into the air. This is a line attack. I believe it's her best ability for farming. It seems to do pretty good damage, but I wouldn't really rely on Awilix as a farmer because this is her only ability which she can use for farming. The other abilities, I believe they're more suited for chasing and bursting down a god specifically, not a whole line of mobs. So Suku charging here is a ghost. You know, he isn't that fast, so you're going to have to lead your attack by quite a bit. So if you are chasing someone, shoot it at where he will be, not where he is at the moment. And that will make Suku do some damage and knock them up if they have their back turned to you. And finally, her last ability, her ultimate, is called Gravity Surge. Awilix calls upon the power of the moon, immediately pulling to her the closest enemy god in front of her that is either leaping or knocked up into the air. The target god takes damage when it lands. Awilix is then bathed in moonlight, gaining bonus attack speed and physical power for 5 seconds. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cap footage of this. I'm very sorry, but with this lag and just trying to predict the movement of the bots, it's really hard. They don't seem to initiate with their jump, and they don't seem to try and escape with their jump. I don't understand. They don't seem to use it on cooldown either. So I don't know. Basically, you activate this, and it will pull any person who is in their jump towards you. And this is why I say Awilix is going to be a good counter matchup for certain gods. You know, just think when you're playing against gods such as Odin or Neith, whose jumps are very, very predictable, then you can pull them back to the ground, cancelling their jump. You can cancel their escape or cancel their damage. Of course, if you're escaping with Awilix and you activate her ultimate, then that will just make them move towards you, so don't do that. But just think about the synergy of this. You could be playing on the same team as a Hades or Odin, and people could be stuck in Odin's ring or Hades' ultimate, and you could activate this, stopping people from jumping away. You know, it's not a skill shot. You don't have to be aiming at them. You just have to get the timing right. So that's it. I think Awilix is a very maneuverable god, which I love. I love her mount Suku. That is awesome. She can jump on it and she can be really maneuverable all over the place, and I just love stalking people. Even though the strafe is slower than most gods, I just love that kind of a mechanic, I guess. As I said, she's going to be strong against gods with a large jump, such as Neith and Odin. She should be good teammates with Hades, Odin. Personally, I want to see Sun Wukong change into his tiger form, and Awilix's Suku charging at the same time, I think that would be cool, because Sun Wukong can also knock people up with his Ox, and Awilix can just combo them with her ultimate and her Feather Step, so that's a lot of burst right there. As to gods to watch out for, think of it as you do not want to be caught while on your mount. And if you are, Bacchus's ultimate will totally screw you up, because if he casts his ultimate, which makes people drunk and daisy and, you know, roll and just move around automatically, then he will make your mount strafe, and that will almost make you stand still, because of course the mount is reduced, you know, the mount has reduced speed strafing. Awilix's burst damage also isn't that great, not as great as the Loki, so you gotta look out for those who have better burst damage, notably Poseidon, who can also cripple people in his whirlpool. And if you're stuck in Poseidon's whirlpool, then you can't use Suku as an escape. I don't think Combat Blink would be good to use on Suku because she has so much maneuverability anyway, but definitely an Aegis Amulet. So there you go, I hope you like the new god, Awilix. I hope you like this new format of showing the new gods. I can't explain the lag in single player, this is silly. It's just silly. I hope it doesn't happen next time. Rumours are that the next god will be a Chinese hunter. That will probably be released sometime in January. So let me know what you think of it. I want to know what you guys think about her mount. You know, does it seem a bit too shiny for you? Do you like its slow movement speed as it strafes? Do you think that suits the jungler role? The assassin role? Personally, I want to see more mounts in the game like this. I like gods when they have more lore attached to them, so I hope they go back and edit a mount into Odin's kit somehow, because Odin has a horse which he uses, a horse which is amazing. It has like 8 or 18 legs, something crazy. They probably don't want to put a horse in with 18 legs, that's going to be hard to animate. But if they did, it would be interesting to see what gods in the game are known for their mounts, and I know Odin is one of them with his crazy horse. There might be others that I'm not positive. But let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.